Why is the second installment of the Twitter files getting delayed? Well, one of the possible reasons is in this video. I'm going to explain it, and I'm also going to explain to you the amount of heat that is being put on Twitter and the two journalists who are bravely covering this to try and stop the damage. So here we go. Remember this person we talked about in the previous installment, Mr. Jim Baker? He was the General Counsel of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from 2014 to 2017. Well, something very interesting happened yesterday. The Deputy General Counsel and Vice President Legal of Twitter, Jim Baker, got fired yesterday. Why did he get fired? Here we go. There are two journalists, fearless journalists, who have been following this and making the revelations. One, of course, you're seeing in the form of tweets from Matt Taibbi. He's an author, he's a writer, he's also a podcaster. He's associated with Substack. Now, Substack has been bringing out a fair amount of exposés. So that is one set. And his other partner, or I should say friend, I don't know, she also works at Substack, or she's associated with Substack. I don't know if she works there. She definitely is also an author. She's a writer, broadcaster. And the two of them were given the permission to release the Twitter files by the Twitter management under Elon Musk. So what they did was they went through newly appointed attorney that was actually overseeing the release of these documents from the Twitter server to these people. Now what happened? Turns out that one of the reasons why this is getting delayed was that these Twitter files were being looked at by Mr. Jim Baker because he was still there. What was discovered was that the person in charge of releasing the files was someone by the name of Jim. And when this name came out in my part 2 of these release, this is the third part in this video segment where we're talking about the Twitter file. The first one was about the actual Twitter files, part 1. Second one was about the involvement of James Baker and how he had a lot of deep connects with Washington Beltway and how he had supported Vijaya Gadde internally when they were being questioned how the heck did the Hunter Biden laptop file disclosure on New York Post get canned so badly. You remember I also told you that the White House spokesperson Kayleigh McEnany, her account was suspended for just merely mentioning that there was a story in New York Post on Hunter Biden, just that. And she also got suspended. So a lot of things happened. So at that time, it looks like there were two camps inside Twitter. And the camp that was vociferously supporting Vijaya Gadde was this person, James Baker. Now, I'm not going to make any excuses for what they did. The buck stops with Vijaya for having done the order, for having created a new rule and then applying it backwards in time, and also for Jack, who was the CEO at that time. They will face the consequences, no doubt. Now, what has happened is they have slowed down the access to information for part 2. Now, we don't know if that means that all the data that was originally being planned is going to come out or not. So there is a certain amount of delay. They are regrouping. They're looking at what might have gotten deleted. Most of the time, when you delete something from the server, it doesn't vanish into thin air. There is usually a backup somewhere. So I think there are some, they are trying to do some backup checks to see if they can find out and still, get almost all the data that they can get. This is just a surmise on my part. I don't have any idea. But for those of you who are wondering why the delay, this is the reason, one of the reasons. But I think this is the main reason. Also, since the first segment came out, New York Post and Fox have been both of them taking pot shots at each other, as well as New York Times is outraged. They're talking about the history of Elon Musk as a company chief, how he always bullies people and threatens and layoffs and all that stuff. This is something that is known. When even before one car shipped out from Tesla, there was this big story. I don't remember if it was Forbes or Fortune, one of those two magazines, from a VP of engineering on how scattered, how haphazard the design and the production and the environment in Tesla was. This came many years ago. I mean, after that, they started releasing cars and so on and so forth. And I love the car, and I have 3 of them, as a matter of fact. So I'm very proud except when it goes bad. When it goes bad, it goes really bad. Other than that, there's no problem. But long story short, there is a lot of pressure coming from the media. I'm sure somebody from the Biden administration also is talking to Twitter to see if they can get some way to sanitize the data that might come out in part 2. I really want to know why I am being shadow banned. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.